everybody, it's Sade, aka Miss London, and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk to you guys about the language learning app Duolingo. So if you are interested, please keep watching. So basically in today's video, what I want to do is I want to retract a statement I made previously about Duolingo in one of my previous videos where I talked about learning French in 6 months. If you have not seen that video, here's a statement that I made. If you think you're gonna learn or be fluent in French just by using Duolingo, it ain't gonna happen. It is not gonna happen. It's one of those apps that you have to use in conjunction with something else because there's just not enough resources on there for you to become fluent. Before we get into anything else, I just want to let you guys know I am not being sponsored by Duolingo at all. I just find them to be a very useful resource, especially if you are a beginner learning any kind of language. I think it works. It worked for me, and that's why I am going into depth about it. Now, as far as my statement goes, I want to reel it in just about 20%. I ain't gonna retract it all the way now. I do still think that you need to use Duolingo in conjunction with other resources because when you use Duolingo alone, you're gonna miss the nuances of language learning, the cultural context, basically. It's almost like learning any other language. For example, if you were to be learning English and somebody says no cap, structurally or in the basic form of English does not exactly mean what it means in spoken English. So that's why I feel like you need to be, talking to other people, listening to music, watching movies, so that you understand the cultural context of the language, because that you will not be able to get from Duolingo. With that said, in the last year or so, Duolingo has rolled out some new updates to the app that has made it super, super, super useful. If you've been one of those people who've been on the app for the last year or longer, then you've noticed that they basically got the stamp of approval, or like the certification, I guess, from the language gods that be. And these people are basically the people that set the standard for what language learning is. They set what those levels are to say, okay, if you're at an A1, you're a beginner and you should be learning this, this, and this. If you're at A2, you're an advanced beginner and you should know this, 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 and that. And this is what they actually use in schools to determine what level you are or what level you should enter in. So when they got this stamp of approval, they pretty much rolled out an update that reflected what the levels of language learning are. So if you scroll through the app now, you'll see they have like this number 1, which this level 1 here correlates with the A1 level, which is a beginner. Level 2 correlates with the A2 level, which is an advanced beginner. Level 3, it's the intermediate, and so on and so forth. This becomes particularly helpful for those of us who want to learn the language in a very structured way, or in the same manner that you would learn it at a university. Basically, this is what Duolingo is now offering. So the reason why this has become so helpful is that if you are like me, I started learning French about 2 years ago, but for the last year or so, I really have not been putting in any kind of effort in learning the language at all. Like when I first started, I was talking to my friends who live in France every day. Now our conversations have pretty much been reduced to maybe once every 2 weeks. So I got back to the Duolingo app because I wanted to brush up on the language. I mean, I was getting a little rusty, and I'm thinking like, yo, it's too early in the game for me to be rusty. Like, I ain't even at the intermediate level yet, and I'm out here getting rusty. So I really needed to brush up on the language, and that's why I went to Duolingo again. And I've noticed that they've made some drastic changes to the app. For example, one of the things I like about the app now is they offer a listening comprehension bit. Now, before, when they first rolled out the app, they did kind of have this little thing called Duolingo Stories, where you would listen to stories and follow along with the text, and then they'll ask questions that you can answer. I didn't find that useful at the time because for me, I was having full-blown conversations with people in France, and I needed to get that listening part. I don't need to read the words and anything. I need to listen and identify the words when I heard it. So that wasn't useful for me at the time. However, now I've noticed on the app, when you are completing your trees, they do have listening exercises or listening comprehension exercises where they will say something without actually having a text. and then you have to listen to it and then answer a question based on what was said. And I think that is super, super useful for those of you who really want to pick up the pace in terms of learning the language. Or let's say you have to visit, you know, a French speaking country or any country. I'm speaking particularly for French because I'm learning French, but Duolingo does have several languages on there. If you're going to visit that country anytime soon and you want to kind of pick up the pace, this is very useful. And then for those of you who are like me, who are brushing up on the app, of course, they still do the idea of the broken tree. So if you don't practice something in a really long time, then your trees become broken. And in order to restore the tree, you have to go back to that tree and redo it. You don't have to redo the entire tree, but you sort of have to just do a small exercise to restore that tree just to jog your memory, which is super useful because, I mean, if you think about it, I speak English and I be forgetting words all the time. So can you imagine, you know, speaking another language, you will forget things. So having those broken trees, they're very helpful in helping you to brush up on the language. So it is for that reason why I wanted to retract my statement a little bit, because with those added resources, I do think now you can actually learn to speak French from the app. You'll be able to have full conversations. It's just going to take you a long time. It's not going to take 6 months. I'll tell you that for sure. And you're just going to be like, it's going to be like a robot speaking. That's all it's going to be. So you really need to practice with other people who actually speak the language to really get a full grasp of it. But I am extremely happy with the updates that they've given. That is all. But yeah, that's it. That's pretty much what I wanted to give you the update about Duolingo. And I hope that you guys go on the app if you have been using it and check out the new features. I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Don't say it. I know what you're going to say. I know I don't be posting a lot, but listen here. Quality over quantity, my friend. I post these videos as they come to me, and this is as often as they come to me. So go ahead, subscribe, because you're getting quality stuff, okay? Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Na bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao.